said in 2010 his philosophy on oil and gas enforcement was to be like the Romans and find the first 5 guys and crucify them. Now, the person has apologized, as I said. Does the administration have any concerns that this tape was doctored in any way? Have you done any investigation to see whether it's accurate? There have been other cases where tapes like this have been selectively edited. I just want to be clear up front. Do you challenge the accuracy of this at all?
I have not heard suggested that there's an issue with that. I think that you noted correctly that the individual here apologized and made clear that those comments are an inaccurate way to characterize the work EPA does. And in fact, he's right. They are entirely inaccurate as a characterization of the work that EPA does. I would note that just recently there was a rule put out by EPA affecting natural gas that was supported by both industry and environmentalists, demonstrating the kind of approach that we take on matters like this. And I would note that since the President took office, oil and gas production has increased each year. Oil is currently at an 8-year high, and domestic natural gas production is higher than at any time in history. On federal lands and waters alone, oil production is up 13% since the President took office. And in 2010, for the first time in 13 years, imported oil accounted for less than 50% of the oil consumed in America. So the President's approach is all of the above approach to our energy needs, I think, documents and proves that those comments do not reflect his policy or the approach that the EPA has taken.
Republican Senator Inhofe, who's been a longtime critic of the EPA, many years, says, however, that there have been actions taken by the EPA in states like Pennsylvania where they've accused natural gas companies of contaminating water. He and other Republicans think it's been trumped up. Does this not call into question some of those actions when you now have this tape of an official letting his hair down and saying, let's crucify them?
Well, again, the official's comments not only are inaccurate as a representation of or characterization of the way that the EPA has operated under President Obama, they are provably inaccurate by our record on these issues. As I just mentioned, oil production is up 13% on federal lands and waters. Oil is currently at an 8-year high production here, and domestic natural gas production, the issue that you're talking about, is at an all-time high. So clearly, there is not an effort of the nature that you talk about. Quite the contrary, there is a commitment to ensure that natural gas is an essential part of our energy future. And the President believes very strongly that we can exploit that resource in a safe and responsible way.
So last thing, if that is your policy, and if the President's approach going back to the 08 campaign was about hope and change and setting a new tone, setting a new tone, somebody saying we should crucify the industry, why is that person still working at the EPA? It's a political point.
I think he's apologized, and what he said is clearly not representative of either this President's belief in the way that we should approach these matters, or in the way that he has approached these matters, either from this office here in the White House or at the EPA. Yes, Kristen.
Jay, what was the President's reaction about the allegations out of El Salvador?
I have not spoken to him about them. Again, we're talking about a rumor in a newspaper that